Welcome, schoolgirls, to the Tolan Ticket, featuring the big fella and priest mode.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Tolan Ticket. Today we got tight ends for you.
Some defenses and some kickers. We'll be brief on the last two.
The ultimate fantasy football podcast here live at Ugly Joe's. The priest, the big fella, myself, and Kenny the kid, the sultan of the Jesus fish.
Yes, worship me, lovers.
It's a name that's catching on in fantasy circles.
Except, no.
We're going to do the top 20 tight ends first in part one. We've got some controversy at the top of our ranking list.
The top five.
Should we start with one and go down?
Yeah.
We always do that. Who do you have at one, Justin?
Well, I've got Gronkowski and Graham tied, and then I thought a little bit deeper after you brought up the good point that Brady could potentially be out the 4 games, which obviously would affect Gronk's numbers potentially. Or do you think Grossosopo or whoever's starting is going to just feed him the rock? That's the other thing I'm thinking.
That could be too.
I'm hesitant to dropping Gronk below Graham, even though Brady's not going to be there, because their wide receivers aren't that reliable. I think it's more of a Brady wide receiver as opposed to them truly being great wide receivers.
I get that. I like Graham more. I think you don't trade Max Unger away for a blocking tight end.
You don't trade away the best center in football for the best tight end for football and block with him.
Exactly. They needed a red zone target. They got maybe the best in football.
Arguably.
I think their offense is loaded too. Everywhere else, Marshawn Lynch, they're going to have the ball in the red zone way more than the Patriots this year. With Blunt being hurt in the running game and the New England suspect, I think that's going to hurt them a little bit too, moving the football in general.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want a tight end who's 6'8", 6'7",
He used to play basketball.
in the red zone all the time, and you got Russell Wilson throwing to him.
For the 5th year in a row, Jimmy Graham, Tolan says, number 1 tight end.
Well, starting the year, but Gronk finished last year. Yeah. I do. I think you will get it. And injury history too. When Graham gets hurt, he still plays. When Gronk gets hurt, he's out for the year. He goes down. He has 2 of those already. So I mean, the reliability factor comes into, and I'd feel a lot safer taking Graham in the 4th than I do Gronk in the late 2nd, early 3rd. Because you're going to get better production at a lower draft pick. So I'm going Graham over Gronk, but I can
pick your poison
either way.
They're the same. They're the same. And then we were going to agree on number 3, Travis Kelce. Obviously, I think a huge role in the offense this year.
Boom.
Alex Smith, he will finally. I have him 85 receptions. He will lead our team.
I'll post my numbers. They're up on my phone, which we're using to record. But I have Kelce finishing like literally 10 points below Gronk.
Mm-hmm.
He's our red zone target. He's Alex Smith's favorite one. Fasano's gone, so his 40-year-old ass won't be stealing any catches anymore.
Vulching man.
Yeah, I think Kelce's reliable, got good hands. Outside of Charles, he'll probably lead the team in catches. Mac will be close behind, right up in front of him.
I don't know. I think Kelce will probably lead our team in receptions.
Yes, I mean,
Charles ain't going to get 80 receptions.
I realistically feel maybe almost better with Kelce in the 4th or 5th than Gronk in the 2nd and 3rd. Like I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
In all drafts. All right, 4th. You have the same guy here? No.
Tell us Bennett.
I'll talk about Bennett first really quick because everyone likes him. Offensive coordinator from the Broncos comes in.
Yep.
He knows him. He loves to use tight ends in the red zone. Look at Julius Thomas last year. Cutler, he likes using tight ends historically. He had 900 yards last year, and I think he's going to get the ball more.
He got it all in 2 games.
He had a great first 5-6 weeks.
Yeah.
But their offense went to shit when Cutler went out. They experimented.
And Marshall got injured.
And Marshall got hurt. So I see a bounce back year for Bennett, or another great year, rather. But, yeah, so take him at 4 safely, feel good about it.
I got Zach Ertz. How is Sam Bradford going to be a top 10 quarterback unless Zach Ertz contributes?
You're going to have to throw to somebody.
Exactly.
So Zach Ertz.
Between Matthews.
Okay.
There's a lot of guys that are going to get the ball.
Zach Ertz.
His offense, he spreads the ball out. Zach Ertz is the guy.
Murray and Sproles and Matthews will get some catches. You don't think Selleck will not hurt him anymore?
Selleck's cute ass is gone.
He's getting too old.
He looks like a little playboy. He's got to go.
His face is strange.
He's putting a lot of faith in Bradford this year.
He is, and Bradford's skyrocketing on an average draft position. He's getting picked, I think, 19th overall in ESPN leagues for quarterback.
That's a little low.
Which you think is low.
We got him at like 14.
But last year he was getting picked at like 27.
Exactly.
24, 27.
Exactly. Who's your number 5? We agree on Greg Olson.
Yep, Greg Olson. He's steady, reliable. Greg Olson. I think Kenny's
the old
got him.
vet.
I had him last
The
year.
Beach Boy.
Yeah.
Touchdown machine last year.
The Beach Boy.
I've done about 5 mock drafts. He goes pretty much in the 4th or 5th round every mock draft. And in the ones I do with Kenny in mind, Kenny's team always takes him.
I think he's the safest pick.
Yeah, he has the last 3 years. Look at his numbers; they're crazy similar.
I think Harbor has a crush for Greg Olson and his Beach Boy ass.
Well, who else is he going to throw to?
He has a floor and a ceiling.
He's got Benjamin and Olsen. That's it.
800, 900 yards, 4 to 7 touchdowns. You're good to go.
I could agree on that.
Now at 6, we differ here.
Jordan Cameron.
Jordan Cameron's who you have. Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, Miami Dolphins. I mean, how's Tannehill going to have that top 10 year? I mean, I understand they got all their good wide receivers now. Landry,
Stills, Devontae Parker, maybe
Devontae Parker, maybe. So, I mean,
Lamar Miller, factor back.
Cameron last year was a top five tight end leading into the year. He's got the talent.
Yeah.
He's got a better quarterback. He's coming off an injury. Come on.
You got to be high on. If Cameron's got a clean bill of health, he's one of the best tight ends in football. I think his upside is up there with Kelsey and not quite Jimmy Graham, but Kelsey. But his floor is below guys like Olsen and Bennett and Ertz. Because if he lays an egg like last year, you don't want that Jordan Cameron.
He killed me last year.
Or if he gets hurt, like he did last year, exactly. I have Julius Thomas, Jacksonville Jaguars. That's a system that's got to utilize the tight end because their wide receivers just aren't that good. And if they ever get to the red zone, he's not going to catch 12 touchdowns or 14 touchdowns like last year, but he can still give you 6 to 8, still 600, 700 yards receiving if he stays healthy. He's a pretty safe bet, too, safe wager, and he's the main man in Jacksonville. Where do you have at 7, Big Fella?
Martellus Bennett. You've already touched base on him. Him and Jay Cutler, the new offensive coordinator. But again, Jay Cutler kills me every year, so we got to avoid him.
You did own him last year in a couple of leagues. And then 8, you have Julius Thomas. We talked about him. I have Delaney Walker at 7. I think the Titans are one of those teams that you hate because they have a bad quarterback and a bad offense.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. I feel like Walker, though, could lead their team in receptions.
I mean, I got him at 11. I think he's a receiver. He's a receiver plus red zone targets. I think he's going to play a huge role in that offense because they don't have anybody else. But at the same time, he's not the elite tight end.
He's still on the back end. Your third tier, it looks like.
Yeah.
And you're not going to reach for him.
No.
Round 7 through 11, if you don't have a tight end, he's still there. Hey, welcome to the team.
Delaney Walker.
Hey, he finds the end zone, too. When he's healthy, he finds it. He proved it last year. I have Jordan Cameron at 8. A lot of the reasons you have. I think he's a great end zone target, too. Big guy. Health is kind of a factor after last year, but I think he'll be healthy this year and have a pretty great season. I don't think he'll get the volume, but if you look at Tannehill last 2 years, Charles Clay, he used them a lot, actually. So he uses the tight ends a lot.
Charles Clay's legit. Where's he at now?
Buffalo, but I don't think he's legit.
He's not the Charles Clay we used to remember.
He's good, but I mean, if Jordan Cameron can be better than Clay, Tannehill goes to tight ends a lot because he doesn't really throw deep.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a deep ball,
He doesn't
really.
have the arm strength like Alex Smith.
Yeah, he says he's getting better, but it remains to be seen.
We all say they're
I
getting better.
believe in Smith.
Alex Smith?
Yes.
Oh, we're talking about Tannehill.
Yeah, but he said Alex Smith has a weak line.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, he does too. Yeah, I like Alex Smith. Okay, there you go.
Very
Who's
comparative.
you got Cameron, who's your number 9? We got Eifert. Perfect. Together.
Tyler Eifert.
The Bengals, baby. That's all I got to say.
And he's the guy who's had horrible numbers and been hurt, banged up his first 2 years, but all of a sudden he's got that hype. They say he's uncoverable in training camp. And he's probably one we're going to eat crow on.
You know, we haven't eaten a crow a lot yet, but I don't think we're going to eat crow on him. I think who we're going to eat crow on is Martellus Bennett.
We'll see. He thinks he's the best tight end in football, so that's what he said on NFL Live or whatever.
Confidence is good.
Yeah, he said that. So, I mean, hey. I think Eifert, though, is a guy you don't reach for. Take him in rounds 8 through 12. You'll be one of the last teams in your league without a tight end in the first place, so take a chance. Screw it. If he sucks, drop him 2 weeks later for Dwayne Allen. Whatever.
Boom.
Who do you got at 10?
Witten. He's old.
Guess what?
I think Escobar's kind of coming around.
I forgot to rank Jason Witten. I have him. No, it's okay. I barely have him above Brendan Davis at around 17. So
Yeah.
I think Witten's going down finally.
Oh, I agree.
He's like Marshawn Lynch. I always talk about him going down. He
And I
never
was
does.
looking at some other.
He's going down now.
I was looking at some other people, and they got him Witten at 7.
I'll go one more beer. Yeah,
Take another.
Take whatever looks bad, boy.
Actually, I'll do whatever.
I'll go Coors Light.
Wells, right?
250 Wells.
Two rum and Sprite.
And actually, can I change it? One more of these, and then I'll do it. Thank you.
I'll take another Budweiser, please.
250 Wells tonight's going to get us in a good mood.
So what are you seeing statistically from Jason Witten here? Are you
I
optimistic?
got him. I got him a high reception because I think they're going to have to pass the ball more.
Yeah.
Okay. I think he's just going to get a lot of crap yardage. I got 800 yards, 60 receptions. He's a tight end, 7 touchdowns. All my tight ends, I got them scoring a lot of touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
Because I think the league is transitioning, and I'm preaching it, baby. I'm preaching it. So.
I like that. I think the one thing about Witten that will be different from last year is that if their running game sucks, especially in the red zone, outside of Des Bryant, you're going to have to go somewhere with the football.
Exactly.
And they're going to be keying in on Des Bryant defenses. He's going to get a lot of checkdowns, 2-3 yard receptions, which is going to boost that up, crank the yardage down, and like you said, the touchdowns. Boom. He could be like Julius Thomas last year.
Yeah.
Low yards, but if he gets a bunch of touchdowns, who gives a crap?
Exactly.
You're going to win your league. So I guess there's sleeper value in Witten, but definitely don't reach for him because there's no more upside.
There's no upside on
10
Witten.
plus touchdowns.
Yeah, there's no upside on Witten. He's a 15-year vet from Tennessee. Him and Peyton Manning played with each other. He needs to get out of the league.
Boom. He's still productive, but
he's a good blocker.
I like the other tight end there too, Gavin Escobar.
He came on strong last quarter.
Don't be surprised if he's
Sleeper.
Escobar's one of the sleepers?
No, he's on my sleeper list.
Okay. He is a sleeper, though. But I wouldn't draft him if he's still below top 20. I have Ertz at 10. Then I have Kyle Rudolph at 11. You've got Delaney Walker. We'll talk about him at 11. Kyle Rudolph at 12 for you.
Yeah. I think he's a red zone target machine. I don't think he's going to play a pivotal role in that offense. But I think he's, like you said, tight ends are made for the red zone, short yardage.
He's a big target. He can drop the ball very often, too.
You're not going to see him running the 15-yard post up the middle, getting 25-yard receptions. You're not going to see that from him.
Yeah. He is surprisingly fast, kind of like Kelsey. He's not as fast, but still an athletic guy.
Yes.
And I think, the end zone's where he's going to thrive. He's not going to catch 80 balls, but he can get you 50, 60 catches.
Yeah.
So what round would I go after him?
You would go after Kyle Rudolph in a 10 team. I would say like
10
12.
10 through 12.
Just curious. So I was reaching deep for a while.
Yeah, I mean, these would be, think about it, because everyone's going to have a tight end except for you if you take him as the 11th overall. So,
I mean, in my opinion, I think tight end, there's a lot of good tight ends out there, or serviceable tight ends after like the top 8. They're all pretty much the same. So,
yeah, by the 10th or 11th round in 10-team leagues, everyone will have a tight end, and then these last 10 guys will just be out there floating.
Yeah, and they're serviceable.
Take a
A
chance.
Dwayne Allen or Kobe Fleener.
Exactly. Austin Safarian Jenkins, I have at 13.
Antonio Gates.
Antonio Gates, when he's not suspended.
Niles Paul.
He'll be a
He's the
weapon.
starter now. The Redskins.
Yeah, he could so far.
Well, you never know. Eric Ebron.
Hey,
You're high on him.
No, Ebron could have a good year.
Yes,
I have him at 17.
Max Williams, the rookie from Baltimore.
He's not ranked, but he's a sleeper.
Yeah,
I
he's a right
like
sleeper.
Pitto a lot. It's going to be tough to...
I thought Pinder was out of there.
He's still there. You keep thinking he's out.
Shut up.
He's still there.
Dennis Keita.
That's why I don't like either one, because I think they'll be fighting each other for balls. Kind of like
Dwayne Allen and Kobe
Fleener.
Fleener.
Exactly. They're really talented guys.
And you can make an argument for Gates and
Ladarius Green.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get Gates, he's a great player, but he's going to be out for the first 4 weeks. So I'd say draft Ladarius Green, your very last pick, if you take Gates at all, and then you'll be covered.
Why is he out the first 4 weeks?
PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs. So he's out for the first 4 weeks, and there's a lot of guys that you can plug and play with him, like Owen Daniels. You're at 16. You can give him the last round of your draft. He'll probably be the go-to end zone guy outside Demaryius Thomas in Denver.
Yep. So he had a good year in Baltimore, went to Denver, in replacement with Julius Thomas.
Exactly. So, I mean, if you don't draft, you wait to the final round and these bottom 5 will probably still be there.
I heard Owen Daniels might win that job. There's someone under him.
Exactly. Virgil Green, that's who's under him. Been there for 5 years. Pretty much a blocking tight end.
Blocking tight end.
But he is big, so he could be a Julius Thomas 2.0. But with Peyton Manning, look at Jacob Tamme. He was the backup. He still had 4 or 5 touchdowns.
White boy.
So, I mean, you're not going to start either one of these guys, really. They're 60 and 20. But if you miss out on any of these guys, you just want to take a chance. Or if you have Gates and he's out the first 4 weeks, you're going to have to plug and play with one of these bad boys. So.
I'm going to say that this is one of the years you don't take a tight end. You wait. This is the year you do it. Like I said, I think out of the top 8 are going to give you your production. After that, they're all just pretty much the same. Plug and place.
Yep.
So if you have a team where you get paid for ad drops, you might want to not avoid that. But if it's free ad drops, plug and play every week. Play the matchups on tight ends outside the top 8.
I agree. I've got a sleeper too right here. Just recently he became a sleeper. Geno Smith went down. We'll talk about that after a bit. Fitzpatrick's there.
Yep.
Jason Morrow in New York.
Yep.
He catches the football well, and if you look at Fitzpatrick historically, he made Scott Chandler a household name, and Scott Chandler sucks.
He ripped the Chiefs, man.
And Jason Morrow is actually really good, so if you can keep favors Amaro out of all those guys' targets, Amaro could be like a sleeper.
I hate Jamaro because here's what happened last year. Him and Geno Smith were part of my epiphany, and they screwed me over out of $27.
That was Cumberland's fault.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
It was Cumberland. But regardless.
Hopefully Cumberland loses his job and
Yeah,
Amaro
you're
steals it. So, I mean, but yeah, tight end's a fun position this year. If you can really take a chance down late, or you can take a chance up high with Jimmy Graham and be rewarded with maybe the
Take a
best tight end.
chance up high.
Let's take a quick break, but we'll come. Anything else before we take a break?
No, I'm going to do a mock real quick. So let's take a break and let's get my first pick in, and then we'll be good to go.
Yeah, we can talk about the mock.
We don't want to talk about my mock.
Okay, fine.
I'm just mocking because I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the number 1 overall pick in subsequent late rounds.
All right, girls, it's been the Tolan Ticket. Tight ends. We're going to talk about kickers next. Oh, my God, we're excited. Also, Geno Smith, CJ2K, and Ray Rice possibly coming back. This is football. This is fantasy. This is Tolan Ticket. 1 second. No.
He could be the next something else.
All right, guys. Hey, welcome back to the Tolan Ticket Fantasy Football Podcast. I am the big fella alongside my main men, Justin Price, the priest mode, and Penny the Kid, the soul of Jesus fish. Anyway, we're talking about kickers, tight ends, and defenses today. We already covered tight ends. Now we're going to move into kickers. We don't really care
This is
much.
where you make your money, okay? I'm going to go out on a limb and say kickers win championships.
They don't even have these on DraftKings, so this is not where you make them.
Yeah, we don't even care about this. So, I mean, a couple rules of thumb. I would say they're moving it back to the 15-yard line. So you're going to have 30-yard extra points. So you need to have a kicker on a high-powered offense or a dome kicker, because the cold weather is going to affect the trajectory and the football, more or less. So that's my only 2 things. Pick who you want. Pick them late. It is what it is, honestly.
Yeah, and guys like Robbie Gould and Mason Crosby, guys in cold weather with a lot of wind, and a little more risk on them than other guys later in the season, but don't overthink it here. I mean, just if a guy was good last year, he'll probably be good this year. I mean, kicker is one of those things that, hey, you might just get lucky, and you might just screw the pooch. Yeah.
Unless he doesn't have like a broken leg, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I wait till the last round of all my drafts to get a kicker, and I will do the same this year.
The worst case scenario, you cut him for another one of the 15 that's out there.
Just for fun, though, we posted our top 10 on the website, so go check it out at www.tolanticket.com and go look at your kickers and, I don't know, beat off or something. You sick freaks. All right, defenses. After defenses, though, we're going to talk about some transactions that could transpire soon. But defenses first. I have the premier strategy, but I want to hear Justin's first.
My strategy is basically, I say you draft the Colts, or you play every crappy team that you play everybody in the what are they? What's that? The North? No, the AFC South. You play everybody in the AFC South. The Houston Jaguars and Tennessee, they're all going to have really bad offenses this year. Basically, stream them, play against horrible teams. It's pretty common sense. You don't want to play a defense against a high-powered offense, obviously. But there are some of those defenses that have always been notoriously good. Special teams are a huge play. Eagles last year were really good.
We know this doesn't really help traditional leagues, but we're talking more daily fantasy.
Yeah, the fantasy stuff. I mean, honestly, guys, kickers and defenses should be your last two picks. I know traditionally the Bears have been really good, Steelers have been really good, and you want to take them in like the 10th, Panthers, whatever. But
this year defense is scary. Listen to this though.
You have no idea.
A couple sites. After the Seahawks, listen to these next four defenses and tell me if you feel comfortable with any of their offenses. The Jets, the Rams, the Texans, and the Bills. Like, those defenses all look great on paper.
They're going to be on the field.
Like shit.
They're going to be on the field all the time.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable with any of those guys. So right before my kicker, I'm picking a defense. And here's my DFS strategy. I'm going to start every team that plays the Cleveland Browns, Johnny Manziel, McCown, I don't care. And then on their bye week, I'm going to pick my favorite team, the Chiefs, just for fun. It'll probably be the league in daily fantasy. But yeah, mark my words, the Cleveland Browns is where you're going to want to aim your money at. So, if you can get the Steelers, the Ravens, they play them twice a year, you're going to have a big night against McCown or Manziel, because their running backs look like shit, too. Their line is the only thing good about them.
Well, Thomas is injured, I think. I read something where he sprained his ankle.
Yeah, he's still MCL, too.
It's like, come on.
Did you pick the Buccaneers, too?
I like the Buccaneers' offense, actually. We'll talk about that more later, but if you look at my most recent rankings, I have Doug Martin skyrocketing. I have Jameis Winston going up. I like a lot of the weapons on
Tampa. So Martin's making a little bit of a comeback then?
Who is?
Doug Martin?
He is. They say he looks faster than he did his rookie year. The year he had 1,400 yards and had an amazing season. So he's kind of a sleeper. And I like him, getting more higher on him now. But yeah, whoever's playing the Browns, that's going to be a shit fest. I'm sorry, Brandon Colvin. It's going to be sad.
And Brendan Huffer, your teams might be the next Detroit Lions of 2013.
Yeah, I can't wait to see who Dwayne Bowe and Andrew Hawkins are trying to rip up. It's going to be embarrassing. It could be sad.
Dwayne Bowe's going to have another useless quarterback.
You thought Dwayne Bowe sucked in Kansas City. Wait till 2015. Just get ready, big fella. But let's segue from that over to Ray Rice really quick.
Okay, let's talk about Ray Rice.
There are reports, Mary Kay Kabat, the Cleveland beat writer, says that Duke Johnson, Isaiah Crowell, Terrence West, none of them really stepping up.
Nope.
Terrence West hurt, Duke Johnson hurt. Crowell is only healthy one, he's not looking that good anyway. They might bring in Ray Rice. You think he has any fantasy value, Justin? Priest?
No, I mean that team is running back by committee. You don't draft any of the Browns. You don't draft any of the Houston Texans. You don't draft any of the freaking Jaguars, and you don't draft any of the Tennessee Titans skill positions aside from the quarterback. Well, yeah, those two. So let's add those.
Yeah, I agree for the
and
most
Hopkins.
part.
Hopkins is the only good one of all of them.
DeAndre?
Yes, at Houston.
Ray Rice, he was averaging 3.1 yards a carry with a good line in Baltimore when he left the league 2 years ago. So the only thing going for him is he's a chip on his shoulder now. That's the only thing I can say. So if you took him as your last pick or second to last, I wouldn't judge you. Because if he becomes the featured back, he might suck, but he also might get 80% of the carries.
Or TDs.
I don't see Cleveland scoring too much, but yeah. I mean,
red zone TDs.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Last year, they were actually the top 5 team running the football in the red zone, which is kind of crazy. Crowell and Terrence West scored a lot. I like that. So yeah, watch Ray Rice, put him on your radar, but like Justin says, temper your expectations because he's playing on the Browns if he gets signed at all. Geno Smith, we talked about him.
I mean, we've dropped fantasy implications, which I think we're going to update our rankings and probably drop Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker from our rankings a little bit too.
Only a little bit.
Well, I mean, a couple spots.
Decent.
A couple spots.
Fitzpatrick, actually, this is a cool stat. Chan Gailey, the new offensive coordinator in New York, when he was OC at Buffalo, all 4 years there, Fitzpatrick finished the top 20 quarterback. 1 year he finished 12. So with Chan Gailey, Fitzpatrick's been a serviceable backup. One time. So he's not going to start for you.
Racket. This guy's going to eat crow.
Hey, man, but he has his best weapons ever in New York, too, so
True.
Who knows? I mean, you could wait till the very last pick if Fitzpatrick's...
You can't tell me Stevie Johnson, whenever he was there in Buffalo.
Who else did they have? Steven Johnson, Scott Chandler.
Eric Moulds.
Mike Williams, who could barely move. Eric Moulds.
We're going way back now.
Jim Kelly's guy. So, yeah.
Doug Flutie's guy. We talking about Jim Kelly. Doug Flutie.
Well, maybe Kelly was there for Moulds' rookie year, like 98 or something. But yeah, Flutie was there too, Flutie Flakes. So yeah, Geno and Fitzpatrick, both of them,
And then,
avoid them.
so Dallas, obviously Julius or whatever is doing okay, but
And Joseph Randle.
Joseph Randle, you think CJ 2K56543 PCO is going to do anything?
They're actually, they're talking about him in Arizona now.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, but he won't do crap. Listen to this though.
No,
last year,
Edmonton.
you saw CJ 2K last year. He was getting caught by slow linebackers after he broke away. He's done. Like the only reason they bring him in is because they don't want Ellington to get all the carries because he breaks down.
Yeah.
And David Johnson, the rookie, is hurt, and they're not going to go into week one with a.
What about that Williams guy that they have? They're rookie last year.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He's still there. He's not that good.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the Chiefs just need to trade Niall Davis.
CJ 2K though is kind of like Ray Rice, but he'll be on a better offense.
Chiefs trade to the Cowboys for the number 1 pick, Niall Davis.
Joseph Randle can be good. I don't know why the Cowboys keep talking about him.
Yeah, I think they're just downplaying his inability.
Who's the new guy who they're looking at now?
Gus Johnson.
Yeah, Gus Johnson, Lance Dunbar,
Undrafted free agent.
Gus Johnson.
Oh, old Gussie. He sounds like a fat white guy.
Gosh, white
Sounds
boy.
like my father.
Sounds like Kenny's father.
Dallas will be okay though. They're not going to be DeMarco
So
Murray. Okay,
we'll put a wrap on that.
We talked about all those boys. Anything else in the world of fantasy football?
That's all I got, sir.
Hey, let's talk about Duron Carter really quick. Chris Carter's son in Indianapolis. He had 4 touchdowns in one practice. Chad Johnson tweeted on Twitter, Duron Carter is already a top 10 receiver in the league. I know my shit. I am paraphrasing. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Are you believing any of the hype? I mean, with that crowded receiving core, can Duron Carter thrive in Indy?
He could.
Wouldn't that be crazy? Is that a sleeper right there?
That's a
Or is that
sleeper for you. That's a sleeper.
Was that a last round pick?
I mean, he's getting a lot more run now, so you may have to take a chance in
Moncrief.
rounds 12 to 14, maybe.
Moncrief. That's say goodbye to Moncrief.
Yeah, I mean, Duron Carter, big frame, I think like 6'4", 210, 215. Chris Carter's son. Chris Carter was a late bloomer, too, after his alcoholism.
Come on, man.
He's got Andrew Luck passing to him, too. I mean, he looks good. I'm going to put him around 40 to 50. But, hey, if you're going to take a sleeper receiver close to the last round.
So we're going based off practices.
Hey, man, he's getting rave reviews. But you're right. A lot of guys have done before. Look at Marvin Minnis and Sylvester Morris.
Hey, I love that guy.
Look at Eric Borick. They're dominating the preseason. You never know.
Marvin Minnis had the best catch of any Chief receiver I've ever seen. So.
He did. I think, though, with Chad Johnson, you got to take what he says with a grain of salt, but he says he sees special talent there. So you got to wonder why the Vikings cut him, though, but who knows? He could have improved slowly like his dad, late bloomer. He dominated the CFL last year. Nice hit there for the Royals. I think that's all we got, though, today, guys. Anything else, Priest?
I'm good.
Kenny the Kid, want to say some words to the sweet camera?
It was nice talking to you all.
Kenny enjoys being with you. All right, good luck, guys, in your fantasy drafts. Again, TolanTicket.com. Go there for our latest rankings, updated, I don't know, almost every other day.
How we doing?
And we'll talk to you next time, next week, for, I'll go one beer. Coors Light. It'll be good. Next week will be what?
Next week, I think let's just talk straight deep UFS.
Yep, we're going to start with our daily fantasy
I
strategy.
think that's going to be the big push. We'll still answer any of your PPR, regular standard draft questions, stardom, situms, whatever you want. But our main focus, I think, is going to be on the DFS. We all can win money off that, so I think that's the best way. It's a long season. It's a long grind. You know, what's $20 for a whole year when you can put $20 a week, baby?
Boom, baby. Hey, also the Twitter site's up. It's at Tolan Ticket. We shortened it. Website's up. Facebook's up. So you guys have any questions or concerns going into your draft? Are you a little uncomfortable? Then hit us up. We'll help you out. That's all.
That's it.
We'll talk to you later, schoolgirls. Be easy. The Tolan Ticket.